Probably Grana Wheat Nitty Bong. I'm Engineer Hoist, and welcome to our weekly Transformers Earth Wars news stream. We're a day late because it's springtime is approaching, and I'm one of the many people who suffers from the seasonal allergies, and they were killing me yesterday. You did not want to hear me sniffling and sneezing. I'm not completely free of them today, so I can't say that's not going to happen, but it's better. It's not quite as bad today. Thank you all for showing up here on a Friday evening. Cuddy Fox, Prime and Duncan, Damon Swicky, Gen 1 Red Alert, Mercenary Terror, Joey Johnston, XNH Gaming, and more people I'm sure to come. And if I didn't call you out, then I'm sorry. It's only scroll back so far. But yeah, so we're here. We're going to talk about the event, which is going on. Some of y'all might actually be done already. I'm about halfway done. But we'll cover, the news. And there's not a whole lot of news other than that. But, we'll be here. We'll hang out. Maybe we'll play a few games. I got some toys to show off like usual. Nothing new. You saw them last week if you stuck around for that segment. But they look different this week. So yes, PB2, pollen allergies best as I know. I don't know exactly which one, but springtime is always the worst. So let's see. Mercenary Terror says I haven't even started. Oh well, that's okay. It's a pretty light event this weekend. So this weekend's event is called Hit and Run, as you saw from the thumbnail. It's highlighting the female characters in the game because was it today or yesterday's International Women's Day, and so that's why they were doing that. I haven't seen the story, so I don't know if that ties into it at all. And Hit and Run seems like a weird choice of a title for when you're trying to honor women. Because that's not something you should be doing. to women. I'm sure. Just a weird choice. Anyway, I'm sure it was nothing intentional there. But anyway, so this weekend you can win five of those Troop XP items, 20 million energon and alloy, 40 triple changer crystals, 7,500 3-star shards, 2,500 4-star shards, a War for Cybertron skin core, 350,000 spark, and a partridge in a pear tree. I'll accept that last one. But so pretty much a standard individual event, except instead of premium crystals, you're getting triple changer crystals. Instead of premium shards, I'm sorry. You're getting triple changer crystals. So, in fact, normally we would get like 30,000 premium shards for 30 crystals, and here we're getting 40, so we're actually getting a little bonus. It's focused only on the triple changers, as you could probably guess from the name of the crystal. And so it's like Duke Party for me because I've got all the triple changers and all the levels. At least for the Autobots, which is my main faction, and that's all you get them for. You can't get the Decepticons. Anyway, I think you guys get the gist right. Come on. It's not moving now. Okay, well, it was moving. All right, so yeah, it's an individual event. Starts at the usual Friday start time earlier today. It's at the usual Monday stop time. Just one big prize of Super XP throughout the event. Got to be headquarters level 4. Hit the yellow event button. Pick zone when the battle collect points for the prizes. The battle zones are the standard battle zones. And here is a list of the prizes. And 10,000 points is the limit. And then you're back to working on your cyber pass if you want. Yeah, because I certainly didn't quite get through all of the PvP stuff. I did get a little ways though, so I already engaged the extra fuel cells, which is I don't usually do that before manage before the event. But I did this week, so yay. So speaking of that cyber pass, if you choose to purchase or end up being gifted the premium track. At the end, if you score enough points by completing quests, you can earn yourself a skin for Shattered Glass Warpath or Beast Wars 2nd Silicon. And so the Warpath looks cool. It's very, very, very nice change from what his normal coloring is. But Silicon, he just sounds like I saw somebody in the chat said in the Discord. It's like he just put on a blue vest. Otherwise, not a whole lot of change. I think they missed, unless they're not allowed to do it for some reason, they missed a real opportunity to give them the G1 Seacon colors, those nice pinks and turquoise colors. I would have loved to seen that be the skin. But, it's not exactly, this quite the same or whatever, and they don't have the Nautilator or... Yeah, I think that's who it is who's missing from these particular Seacons. But so what? So you just don't put the skin on them. So I would have liked to see that, but that's not what we're getting. Maybe in the future, probably not. That's okay. I got the toys I can enjoy. So, and that was basically the news. So, and PB2 saying would have accepted that or the Collector Club Seacons. And the Shattered Glass Warpath is based on the GoBot tank. Yeah. Yes. They definitely they do that because and Hasbro can do that because I don't know if a lot of people know, but Hasbro did purchase the GoBots trademarks and everything like that, so they can use those colorings and stuff like that. You won't see them put out like toys from the GoBots because they didn't. I don't think they got those rights. That still belongs to like Machine Robo or Bandai. I forget who it is, but there's another company still can put out those. That's why if you saw like the third party figures of the GoBots, like I've got a bunch of them, Eagle Robo, Cycle Robo, and stuff like that. It looks just like the GoBots. They're not actual third parties. They're actual made by the actual company who did them. But they can't call them Leader One or Psykill or anything like that because that's a trademark which Hasbro owns. And anyway, So and yes, we are seeing some of them. For example, we've got Crasher came out in the Velocitron line. I believe there was another Crasher that came out a while back as well. And I've definitely seen some of these some of the colorations in uh, before. I want to say it was like Dark of the Moon. They did a set of like mini cons, like they did a Green Power Glide and things like that, where they did some similar things. All right. Anyway, so feel free to chime in if you got other examples. All right, time for the community corner, and I have a button for that now. It makes it easier. It does. You guys don't really see a difference except for me saying it. Okay, so first up, we've got Pokebot 360 showing off their 4-star and 5-star squad. And just like everybody else, he's got a line for the research lab. And man, you got to start getting those guys through there because, maybe take a pause on collecting your 4-star bots because you got a big old line of bots that need to get through. So you might want to get started on that. So next up, we've got PB in here. I believe we're going to be seeing a few from him as well. We've got Rodimus Prime looking really nice here from in the Minecraft game. I believe it's a mobile game, a mobile Minecraft that you're using. Nice job on the spoiler, how it's kind of got the weird thing from the Power of the Primes. So yeah, nice job on that spoiler there. And Mega Prime 101, they're very happy to show off their 5-star Breakneck and the project they've been working on, making some wood burnings and with the Autobot and Decepticon symbols. Nice job. And so now here we come, PB2s. Even though they've been out a while, I don't think we've seen them in Minecraft form. So we've got some Technobots coming through here. First up, we've got Nose Cone. Aptly the first one to be looked at because he was created first by Grimlock back in G1. Are you my father? The thing still cracked up anytime I think about that. And then there's Strafe here. And then we got a Scattershot. Very, very nice. The Technobots hold a special place in my heart, mostly because Computron and the Technobots was the only combiner that I completed when I was a kid. So for whatever other reason, Computron's always just kind of that one that's kind of their. I wouldn't say he's my favorite combiner, but he was the only one that I completed as a kid. Clearly, I've completed many more since then, but I still have that. I still have them, except for the nose cone. I snapped off the nose cone. Thankfully, Red Alert, my buddy, found a replacement and gave that to me as a gift one year. Thank you again for helping me get my Computron back in the proper orientation with nose cone as a leg. I mean, he worked all right. He worked out all right as an arm for all those years. Anyway, moving on. Enough about me. This is about you, the community. It's your corner. Jettison C4 is here with the working on his customs using the shadow strip. Added a green visor for his original character, Road Ripper. In fact, that's what his little secret spoiler tag thing is. Just it's the original character. And he also painted over the little flag thing on his arms and a little bit of the legs. Okay, very nice, looking good. Yeah, sometimes that's all you got to do. Just little subtle changes. You don't need to completely, 100% repaint them like I did that Thundercracker. Yes, I'm still riding that train. But sometimes it's just little subtle changes will do it for you. Cuddy Fox saying nose cone is still useless in the game even after the upgrade. Yeah, unfortunately. We've got a bio for Road Ripper. Road Ripper is an unrecognized genius. He was thrown out of the labs for a poorly executed project, which led to a disaster. Not too long after, Deathsaurus found him and let him in the Destron ranks. Road Ripper was immediately named the scientist of the team. When Road Ripper met Jaguar, They instantly went to the lab and created things for the rest of the unit. Those two bots are responsible for tools and weapons used by the Destrons. During his time with the Destrons, Road Ripper finally gained recognition from the Decepticons. He is now considered one of the greatest Decepticon scientists. While being handy in the lab, Road Ripper is a skilled warrior. Leozak put him and the rest of the first wave of Destrons through hard training, which brought them out as the specialized unit they are known for. So very, very nice. And there he is, all assembled instead of being split in half. So very cool. And also, so we've got Mega Prime coming back in. This is what you like to see, getting your bots leveling up. We got Cyclonus, Trigger Happy, and Acid Storm. So looking good. Favorite Gunner and Air Class cons. I'll definitely agree with like the Trigger Happy and Acid Storm is pretty good. Cyclonus is an odd choice for being a favorite. You know, for the Autobots, if you don't know, that's the same as Power Glide. So, but hey, I mean, the Cyclonus is cool. It's unfortunate that he's got the ability that he does, but I mean, Cyclonus is cool. Let's see. Okay, so we're back to Minecraft with the there's the Shattered Glass Warpath, of course, because we just saw the skin there, and so as soon as we get skins, we see them in Minecraft and PvP. Always an excellent job. And we're continuing back with the Technobots. We've got Afterburner, and did we see Lightspeed? I see him standing there. I don't remember seeing Lightspeed, but there he is there too. And Prime and Duncan coming in here earlier this evening after I changed the title. to change the date because we got delayed a day. Ultra Magnus and Leo Prime range comparisons. It seems Ultra Magnus, despite having ranged attacks, tends to walk towards the target. Let's see if these will play. Can I? Not going to make them. Can't make them full screen. You'll miss most of it. So there's Ultra Magnus and Leo Prime. So let's see. So they're just kind of hanging out. They've got a pretty decent range. Ultra Magnus does walk a little bit too. But Ultra Magnus is one of those weird bots. I see what you're saying. He's got the two different attacks. He's got the longer range and then also kind of like a medium, like a secondary attack that kind of gets him a little bit closer. I'm not exactly sure the right terminology for it. But I do remember that there's some kind of thing where he's got a couple of different attacks where he does have a tendency to do that. Where most bots that have I think it's like the medium range is what the attribute is. They tend to stay at that one spot, similar to what you saw Leo Prime doing. But Ultra Magnus and probably Galvatron too, they're a little different. So they will move closer for more of a short-range attack, not necessarily melee, although as PvP is saying, Magnus does take melee combats for some reason. So what are we watching here? Just a not nice attack from, looks like we had a Cup solo assisted by Fort Max. Or did I miss the first part of it? So we had Cup. Let's watch this again. Cup, Springer, and was that Snapdragon? That's pretty nice. Nice job. Snapdragon with the sacrifice. Yeah, that's about what mine usually does too. So that whole Cup and Springer combo has been around for a while, where you bounce Cup off towards the headquarters, and then you use Springer's heal and that ability, and that brings him right to Cup. I'm guessing that's one of your main methods of attack, and you're probably leveling your Snapdragon, maybe. So let's see, and so yeah, thanks for those replays, Prime and Duncan. And we're also coming in. Got a if you ever were wondering what a maxed Minerva 5-star looks like, there you go. Level 70, level 10 healing tower ability, level 20 on the Alpha Trion Prime Core, and a level 10 5-star ROM. That's as good as you can get right there. Until they give her a level 11 ability, which I think you might go. And she's captain rank. So even more than that, she's gone a little extra. So 6,715 bot power. That's amazing. Very nice. Oh, there you go. Like I said, we got light speed, so there he is. Like, you got him in here, and I'm pretty sure by the timestamp, where is that? That. So there we go. There's light speed. I knew he was around there somewhere. I mean, it was probably in the art showcase or whatever. But yeah, nicely done. So. Very cool. And that brings us to the end of our community corner. Thank you to everybody for your contributions. And that's about it for the news. Let's see. I usually go back over here and do the whole, there's the YouTube link. There's, Instagram, Facebook, blah, blah, blah. And roll credits. Thank you to all of my channel members and moderators for your help and support throughout the either monetarily or by keeping people in line here on YouTube or in Discord. So yeah, there we go. I think next up I do have some crystals to crack. Not a lot, 82. That should go pretty quick. And looks like I've got 30 of those triple changer crystals. Might as well go ahead and crack them. Oh, here's the skins from the last Cyber Pass. I did grab those at the very end. I'm not surprised. I even ended up going a little bit beyond and got some of the total spark crystals, which we'll see here, which I ended up cracking before. So there you go. We got some combat spark, some normal spark, and there you go. There's a G-metal crystal or chip. They got us rejuvenate. That's always a nice one to have. And let's see. We did manage to get 3-star beachcomber. So we're definitely seeing at least one new bot. There we go. I'll go ahead and level him up. Probably won't use him in too many battles because I don't really use the 3 stars, but I always do level him up. And we got some gold chips that we're cracking here. So I'm looking at the chat. Daniel Evans coming in here. If there's anybody out there, the Autobots, I guess that's your Alliance State Farm. That's supposed to be like Pharma. So that's pretty cool. Need help to start a war. They need 3 to 4 players. So if you're a mercenary or your Alliance can spare you for a day, I suppose, just head on over there, help them out. And this was, I think this was the War for Cybertron chip. The skin. So I need to try to remember this. War for Cybertron skin or 2,000 3-star shards if you have them all. And let's see. Let's go ahead and do these triple changers. And 4-star double dealer. Nice pull from there. I'll take those 5-star shards. Oh, and something I did think of with these triple changer crystals, you are getting a lot of the triple changer class shards. so that's nice. Now, if only I could get some character shards. Oh, and also character shards for all of them. So maybe I might be able to rank up one of these guys when all's said and done. Let's do these premium crystals. See if we get anything. Still hoping for that Roadbuster to complete my 4-star Ruination. He did finally reach level 20, which is the max for a 3-star. So I'm done leveling Ruination for now. Until Roadbuster shows up. There we go. Cody Fox says we need more medics so we can get more medic shards. Yeah, that might be another one that you might see come in here later for like a targeted crystals during an event. Because if you think about it, there's not many triple changers, so this is nice where you can get some of those triple changer class shards. It would be good to have a medic. Another event like this, but with medic crystals. We don't really need warrior or gunner or air class, and certainly not special class. Crystals for all that, because there's plenty of them coming through. But triple changer and medic would be another good one. So let's see. Before we do that, let's see. I'm gonna go ahead and grab one more 4-star crystal. I'll be back over 50,000 by the time the event's over. So let's go ahead and crack a couple of 4-star crystals. Is Roadbuster in one of these? I think Blue Streak is out now too, because one of my free crystals earlier on the Decepticon side, I pulled Wild Rider. So we might be seeing. So Blue Streak, I think, is available now. I don't know. Have any of you guys seen Blue Streak or Wild Rider come through crystals for you yet? Gold V-Lock Cannon. I don't know. I think that I'll have to check. I'm not sure if I have a gold one or not. I'll take it though. And the last one, next one, is another duplicate. It is Trax. And there we go. And we've got a story here. Braun says, I heard from Blue Streak you saw some action out there, Beachcomber. I sure did, Braun. Who knew Earth had the kind of treacherous terrain I love? Now I just want to explore. Ha! Same old Beachcomber. Guess you just prefer your own company to ours. Nothing personal, Skidge. I just love to roam. Well, you've got a whole new planet to roam in. But, well, we got a war to fight too. I get it, Grapple, and I'll never shirk my duty or forget my loyalty to the Autobot cause. You need me, I'll be there. We're just ragging you. Be careful out there. A lot of cons just circling on the lookout for a lone Autobot. Good job I have a sensor array so finely tuned it even reads air current variations. Plus, just generally, I'm very hard to hit. Don't get cocky. But while you're out there, find us some nice, rich mineral seams. We're getting low on resources to repurpose. I'm on it. And hey, if I happen to run into Deluge, I'm ready for round 2. Hey, yeah, I heard you two tangled. How'd that end up? An honor's even draw, I'd say. I wasn't really looking for a result just to stop Deluge in his tracks. But still feels like unfinished business. And there we go. And I might play a few battles here in a little bit. I like this. Maybe they can give us new medics like Scar or Nickel. I like that idea. Not sure if that's going to happen. We did get Scar just recently in the toys, the little core class Dinobots. And I don't know if he was specifically called a medic then, but I'm pretty sure that's what he's intended to be. It's kind of like a Dinobot medic. And Nickel is that one of the DJD, kind of like their den mother, so or so to speak. In the if you ever saw the IDW comics, Nickel's very cool little character that patched up the DJD when they came back in. So that would be a really very good idea as a Decepticon medic. PVG saying Scar was a medic in the comics. Well, there you go. So, all right. So, just real quick, I just want to show this guy off because he's awesome. You saw last week that I finished off the Kang Toys mini Predacons with the arrival of their Razor Claw and Rampage. Pretty sure I showed those. Anyway, I did get them. They came in with the concept Megatron and all that. And, well, I spent last weekend, it was the better part of Saturday. First thing I did is I got all of them together, took a nice group shot of them in bot mode, and I could transform them all into animal mode. Got a nice group shot of them all in animal mode, and then I transformed them all into Predaking mode, or as we call them, Predakang. The guys for the legs, Headstrong and Tantrum, pretty easy. They're basically there. You just kind of fold them up a little bit, turn their heads around, boom. Like the guys for the arms, again, not too difficult. Turning Thorilla into the monkey pants was a little wild, and getting Razor Claw into the torso and the head was pretty challenging as well, because as you'll see, they're pretty spiky, particularly Razor Claw, and the instructions were tiny and not very good. Anyway, but very cool set. Here we go. There he is. The lighting is pretty terrible. And I got to back this up because he's a big bot. Really, really cool. Do I have a closer one? Yeah, here. There it is. So you can kind of get an idea of the size of this guy. There's my deluxe class, Earthrise Hoist. So this is legend scale, so the individual bots are, maybe about that tall. But combined, as you expect, combiners get bigger. So that's what he looks like compared to that. Another apt comparison, I think, for this guy. We'll bring in a good old G1 Predaking. This is a reissue that I got. They were selling on Amazon a while ago. So, as you can see that. So I don't know if it was intentional, but they basically matched the height of these guys. So that's pretty cool. Classic, modern, stylized awesomeness retelling of them. So, yeah. A couple other comparisons real quick. If you are into the Legends combiners, collecting, how does he measure up? Well, I happen to have Magic Square Menasor over here. So he's a little bit bigger than Menasor. Not that much bigger as it looks on the screen, I don't think. But he is definitely a little bit taller. And New Age Devastator. There you go. Also, he's a little bit bigger. And the last one I'm going to bring out, this is Iron Factory, who was one of the first ones to come out with the combiners. This was not their first combiner, but this is the coolest one, I think. And this is no official name for their combiner, but most people call him Tarnation. Like, what? Tarnation? So this is their DJD combiner. So he's quite a bit shorter than most of them. He looks like he's about the same height as Devastator, but he's way back there. So there's Menasor. So they're all pretty close. They're within. If you need them all to be exactly the same height, then no, they're not in scale. But I mean, if you can accept a little bit of variation in height, like is kind of normal with people and everything like that, then I think they all really do go well together. So, what the heck? I've got them. So let's go ahead and bring out. This is the first Legends class combiner I got. That's the Iron Factory's Bruticus. I didn't go in on the Magic Square one. It looks fantastic, but I got to save my money somewhere. And I already got the Bruticus. And even though he doesn't look purely G1, I think he looks cool. I even got the toy hacks set for them. They don't really do toy hacks for third party much anymore that I've seen, but they did at the time he was out, and I got the toy hacks. So he's actually got a nice little Decepticon symbol on him. And the last one that I've got, I don't know how they're all going to fit, but this is the Zeta Spiritron, the only Autobot combiner in Legends class. Everybody else is a Decepticon. And the first couple of bots, they're the Skydive and Air Raid, really good as bots. The other three, loose, floppy messes and don't really tab together. The combiner, okay. The combiner's all right. It holds together pretty good. Yeah, so there we go. So there's my Legends class combiner collection. So many of them you can't even see the main guy over here with the Predacang. So yeah, fun times, man. If you like the Legends class, there's lots of really good stuff out there that you can choose from. So, and that's basically the toy section of the program this evening. Daniel Evans, love it, like Tarnation and Bruticus. Yeah, the Iron Factory stuff. So speaking of which, another one coming out from Iron Factory is the Lio Kaiser. I saw that a while ago, missed out on the first round of pre-orders. So Kill Bison and Drillhorn from Iron Factory, I don't know what their third-party names are. Those have already shipped to a lot of people. I didn't get in on the first round of pre-orders, but they put up a second round. I'm in on the pre-orders for that. Plus, I am in on the first round of pre-orders for all the other four guys. So I will be getting the Lio Kaiser Iron Factory set because, I mean, I've got these other two Iron Factories combiners, and they are great. I love Iron Factory. When they do this style, it doesn't have to be perfectly G1. In fact, it's vaguely Cybertronian in a lot of cases. But I just love the style that Iron Factory does. Not a big fan of the whole samurai thing. I think it looks great. And the people who like it, I'm happy for y'all. It's not something I need in my collection. But I've got pretty much all of the other Iron Factory stuff, except for maybe some recolors that came out prior to them doing the samurai stuff. I do have one of the samurai bots, and it's the Cyclonus, because that's the only Cyclonus they did. And just from that, tells me I don't really need to get any more of the samurai bots because it's not great. Luckily, New Age came out with a fantastic Cyclonus. So, yeah. Cuddy Fox is saying the last of the train bots is coming out this year, as well as a 6-pack of all of them. Are you talking about the Masterpiece ones? Yeah, because I've seen people completing that MPG Raiden. And the core class recolor of the Volcanicus, the little core class Dinobots, is Dino King. That would be, a lot of people are thinking Monstructor. I still think it could be Monstructor. It would probably be easier to do Dino King because then they don't have to change any molding. It's just a straight up recolor. Um, but the I still think, and I think many other people, I think, still think that we see a little mini Monstructor coming soon. Because if I recall the history, Dino King and Monstructor were kind of that whole similar engineering type of thing. So. You're saying the toys that came out last year had both Scar. Yeah, we talked about that, and Nickel. Nickel came out in a non-transforming kit with Tarn. I don't know if I ever saw that. I got the MMC. I mean, I got the whole DJD line when for MMC did that. Included Scar and no, I'm sorry, Nickel and the it was Dominus Ambus. The little the Spark Fox. The pet. So they came in a set and really really cool. Yeah, I even got the two big guys, Tesserus and Helix. Huge. But I had to get them. I had to complete them, and I got and so that's like the Iron Factory Tarnation. This one, this has got the main. It's got the main DJD guys in it. There's no Nickel here. You do have Tarn. But Tarn kind of just folds up into like a little box here at the end. Voss, he just that's just his his sniper mode, and that works perfectly. Kaon folds up into the little fusion cannon thing, so he just kind of folds up into a little box there too. And then the other two guys basically split apart. And form most of the combiner, and then there is kind of like a head, chest piece that's just kind of separate. So, and I don't know if anybody saw this, but I do like this. It's cool. The for the combiner, the mask can come off. And underneath, it looks like Megatron. There was a comic where Megatron actually took his helmet off, and then he unfolded these pieces, kind of like he was. I don't know, like solar panels or something, like he was recharging or something. But yeah, so he actually took that off, and it's like he had these extra pieces that just kind of flared out like that. So I like how they homage that with this combiner thing. And then and that is totally something that the DJD would do, because they were totally fanatical about Megatron. So that is something that they would totally do, would be to honor their leader by taking his likeness for their combined mode, and then just kind of hiding it with the Decepticon symbol. So, PV2 is asking, did the MMC Ravage come with that head for their Megatron too? It may have. I don't remember. It might have. Now that you mention that, I think it might have. If it did, I didn't do anything with it because I kind of just like that Megatron as it was. And the Ravage, I just got him sitting up on a shelf. He's kind of looking down, spying on you. If it's anywhere, it's buried off in some bin somewhere, wherever the instructions and other leftover accessories are. So it's not something I can go look right away. But yeah, so pretty cool. A lot of little Easter eggs and stuff included with like the third parties, and just like the masterpiece. That one time, that one episode, that one time they did that thing. Here's an accessory for that. Yeah, and as cool as that kind of stuff is, sometimes I kind of wish leave that stuff out and let me get the thing for a little bit less money. But for those people who do like it, then it works out good. So let's go. We'll recharge my combiner beacon, and I got a full set of full fuel cells. How about we go ahead and work on some of these cyber pass things. So I like to try to get the normal event battle thing done because it takes 50 of them. So I'm not doing the highest level um, zone that I could possibly do with these guys because I don't want to finish before I do 50 battles because I want to go ahead and get that nice 50 points there. And then I can go work back and work on the PvP battles, including the alt faction and earning some energon. So I did finish the 10 battles with 3 warriors on a squad, though. And got to get 400 alloy, so that'll probably be done later. Starscream and Windblade 3 times, so probably won't be finishing those during the stream tonight. But so let's go ahead and go. So see, I'm a little past halfway. So this is kind of my leveling squad. I've got a few too many bots leveling right now. My Rotor Storm is actually at level 50 in the lab. I got him up to level 40, and then when he came out of the lab at 40, I just used a bunch of those XP items because they've been sitting around not being used. I used as many as I could to get him as close to 50 as it was, and then it just took him like 3 or 4 more battles, and then he topped out. Not necessarily because he's a great bot necessarily, but just I was impatient. I wanted to get him there.
Now.
So this is kind of what I do. Alita 1 and now the Star Saber, they're kind of like the main one side. Yeah, I do them one on each side because what I found was Alita tends to knock everything out, and if Star Saber doesn't get there before she takes everything out, he just stops. He kind of wastes an ability. So that's why I try to do them opposite sides. And also doing that best you can. Avoid the outposts, and it's an easy victory. I mean, either one of them probably could have soloed this base. But I'd take them both. That way they both get the points. And so do these other guys who are just along for the ride. And here's some of my other squads. I kind of need to redo my squads because I'm finding as I'm getting more bots going through level 60, and they're gone for a couple of weeks. So another bot comes and takes their place, and I was just like, yeah, but I kind of like that bot there now too. So where does this other guy? Where does this guy, other guy, go back to? And yeah, so I think I might just need to blow them up and rebuild them. Oh, let's see. There's Warpath. I like to find the lines for Warpath. Yeah, this side would be a good one for him.
Wheeljack.
So we'll go after this beam laser over here and everything else along the way. Yeah, got it. And then we'll go for this one here. That might even take out the missile launcher back there. Yes, indeed. Can we clear some more stuff out with this Warpath? No, but we softened it pretty darn good. Since we could go ahead and soften some more stuff. Shoulder pads prime, going to throw out some discs. I don't know who it was, but it was in Discord. Somebody said, what's the basis for the discs in the, for him and Armada Megatron? And the answer, I think DB2 might have even said it had the answer. They did have Laser Optimus did have the disc launcher when he first came out. And in fact, Larkin's Lair made a 3D printed disc launcher to go with the Legacy? Yeah, Legacy Laser Prime. I might actually have one of those around here somewhere. So I never even thought about that before. But yeah, that was a good call. The reason for the discs. So this is another one of another one of my good squads. It's changed up a little bit. It had Inferno on there for a while. I thought Inferno paired well with Star Saber because fire off Inferno, get the extra damage boost, and then Star Saber swiping across, it would just tear it up. But Inferno hit level 60, and then he got replaced with, I don't know, Skids or Impactor, and I kind of, I don't know.
Deploy.
I think he might have got replaced with Prowl. I could probably ditch Prowl. I don't know. I mean, since I'm down a couple of zones, Star Saber is going to do just fine without the help of Inferno. So. Oh, don't waste your time with that. Go to the headquarters. Okay, this is low. Fox has an interesting question here. If we could have had Headmasters, Master Force, and Victory come to the States, these are the additional G1 series that do you think that might change how some characters will be and have not the movie come out? Quite sure the end part of that question there, but I think it totally would have been different. I mean, characters like Star Saber, Lio Kaiser, Leo Prime, and things like that definitely would have be more in the collective Transformers consciousness. I personally was not aware of Star Saber at all when the Masterpiece Star Saber came out. I'm like, who is that? Oh, okay, I guess he was some Japanese G1 guy. Okay. Then he showed up in the comics, and my first introduction to Star Saber was the Zealot. It was very, very much on the evil side in IDW, and then it was really when he showed up in this game, I finally learned a little bit more about it, and ultimately did go get that Masterpiece. Luckily, one of the few times I found the Masterpiece after the fact. And did not have to pay much of a late tax event. So I was pretty happy about that. And then, of course, fast forward a little bit, the HasLab Star Saber comes out. Oh, Fire, welcome. Thanks for your support. Sorry you're late. Don't worry about it. Maybe Tuesday and only new Star Saber through the Masterpiece also. Yeah. Well, that's people over here. We didn't get those shows, so yeah, I think that definitely would have been definitely would be a different viewpoint to them if those shows had come out and we didn't have to get them. Look at them after the fact, kind of like where we are now. But there's still plenty of people who chase them down. Because I know Star Saber, the G1 Star Saber, is pretty hard to come by.
Deploy! Attack!
And Evans says, what Hasbro needs to understand is that some people can't find figures because of container ships that got left for so long, and then also some people don't have money to put them out. Yeah, well, it's tough, but I mean, both of those situations that you just described is a little out of Hasbro's control. They just kind of got to do what they can with what's in their control, and everybody else has to deal with what's in their own control. Yeah, I'm definitely consider myself lucky that I have a job that's good enough that affords me plenty of disposable income to collect, far too many, far too many things in my life. And if I didn't make as much money as I did, then I certainly wouldn't have the collection that I do. You got to make those choices for your own individual sake. And PB2 very correctly says Target and Walmart are the ones responsible for distribution. So I mean, if things aren't showing up at your store, it's not Hasbro's fault. It's Walmart's fault or it's Target's fault. It's like I never saw I didn't never saw a single Toxitron bot at my local Walmart. Probably because my local Walmart didn't order it. I didn't blame Hasbro for that. I blamed Walmart. Luckily, I found some, other WalMarts in the area, or lucked out and got the, Lemon Drop Grimlock online, and Larkin's Lair found others for me. I never found Cosmos, Larkin's Lair. Somehow he finds everything, and he must be like the only guy in Hawaii that gets Transformers because he seems to be the one finding everything for everybody. So. And then others like PB2 saying Galaxy Shuttle is another hard one. I managed to get in on a pre-order for Galaxy Shuttle, so that's how I managed to get that one. So. Oh, Teddy Fox saying about the movie part. If the movie had not come out, Prowl showed up, and apparently Prowl showed up in Headmasters, and Wheeljack showed up in Victory. And if those are meant to be after the movie, it's kind of hard when Prowl famously burned from the inside. There on the Ark, and Wheeljack was died off screen, but they did show him there next to Windcharger. So. Because that was the thing, the Japanese continuity, they basically ignored the 86 movie when you produced those episodes. So you are going to have some, it does kind of diverge. G1 does kind of diverge right there. I'm not sure if anything like that got retconned or something like that, but I mean, the official explanation for Wheeljack and Prowl's appearance was something about clones. Okay, well, I can see that, but at the same time, why not just bring them back? Because Optimus Prime came back in Season 3. If you can bring Optimus Prime back, you can bring back Wheeljack, you can bring back Prowl, you can bring back anybody you want. I mean, they're robots. Just capture yourself a Quintesson, and he'll go and rebuild them for you. Just send old Commander Modesty over there, grab yourself a Quintesson. And...
Attack!
And you don't even need to wait for a hate plague to do it. Oh, I forgot I have Rhinox. In one continuity, Chip Chase saved Prowl's personality on a floppy disk, and then he and Prowl became one. Can you imagine an entire personality program on a what was it, like a 3.1 megabyte floppy disk? You can barely get a video game on a 2 gigabyte drive, much less a floppy disk. But that's all they knew at the time, so that's what you had to do. But it's kind of hilarious when you think back on some of the technology, at the time. Yeah. You got to think about what was going on at the time. At the time, all they knew was floppy disks. That's all people would know.
Deploy.
Kind of like Beast Wars. A lot of people say talk about how bad the Beast Wars CG is compared to today's. Yes, but back when Beast Wars came out, if I'm not mistaken, it won an Emmy for how good it was. So you got to think about put things in context when you're criticizing stuff like that. Like saying they did that in Marvel Comics with Optimus. I'm not sure what part you were saying there, but I Marvel the G1 comics did some weird stuff. Like I forget what arc it was, but there was one where Optimus Prime ended up in a video game, something or whatever, and made a bet wager against Megatron and something like that. Whoever, if he lost or something, he would terminate himself or something like that. And then he ended up losing, but it was clear that Megatron cheated, and Optimus still lost himself anyway. It's like, dude, he was cheating. The contract's null and void. You don't have to honor a contract against somebody who clearly cheated. So they did just a reason to kill Prime again. I read that. It was like, what? Who in their right mind would do that? Oh, Rat Pat's Car Wash of Doom. I do not remember. I remember the I've heard that term before, but I do not remember that episode. I might have to go check that out. Oh yeah, and like when the Decepticons were going to take over the world by putting hypnotizing songs in a dance club. And then somehow they ended up getting construction workers and housewives and stuff. It's like, they weren't going to end up there. How did you pull that off? Some of the episodes, I don't know what they were smoking back in the 80s when they were writing these episodes, but it must have been some good stuff. But again, it was for kids. They weren't writing shows to make realistic sense. They were it was just supposed to be entertaining. What was the reason for the Decepticons' plight? No reason. They were just bad guys. That's all you needed. You needed good guys and bad guys. That's what it was. They didn't have some agenda or whatever. That's something they did later on. As people grew up and started. But we were kids. We didn't care. We just knew Megatron was the bad guy, and that was good enough for us. But now, as you get older, you're like, oh, there's got to be some motivation. There's got to be some motivation for why he's bad and why they're all bad. So that's where you get into stories where I go back to IDW because that's the one that I read a lot, and I'm sure it may have started with Dreamwave or some other things too. And but that's where they go and they try to find that motivation, where it's like, oh, they were slaves or minors and they were treated poorly, so they were trying to fight for the rights, and then it got out of hand and stuff like that. So it's cool. That's a good reason. That's a good reasoning. A good plot. But as kids, we didn't care. There were good guys and bad guys. That was all we cared about. The good guys turned into cars and trucks, and the bad guys turned into guns and tapes and jets and stuff. We're like 9. We were thinking about politics and justified badness. We were thinking about that stuff. But it's cool that we're doing that. They've got it now, It's just like rescue bots. I will forever sing the praises of the rescue bots. But some of their storylines were so silly too. But again, that one, a lot of Transformers now that they recognize that the fans are older, so they're trying to cater to the older fans by having some little more grown-up storylines. Rescue Bots stayed with this is a show for kids. It's all we're going to talk about. This is a show for kids. And that's what it was. And I think it's great. I mean, there weren't even any Decepticons in the Rescue Bots. Not a single Decepticon. It was not good guys or bad guys. It was the good guys trying to help out these idiot people from this town, which is like super technologically advanced. Which how it got to be that way with the absolute morons they had living in that town, I'll never know. But it was an entertaining little show, and I'm sure kids loved it. You know, and it did what it was supposed to do, and it's I don't know, man. I just like the show. It just
Crush them!
it's hard to explain. It was fun. It was fun, and there was some good humor in there too. You know. So I mean, they did throw some stuff in there to make it slightly entertaining for the moms and the dads that have to watch it.
Ready!
You know, or other adults that don't necessarily have kids.
Ready!
Yeah, plot convenience. Yes. Well, I mean that's the reason for anything that's done in any show or comic or anything like that. You know what? You watch any movie or TV show that's kind of like an action movie, and you could probably tally up, in the at least double digits how many times the main character would be seriously hurt, if not killed. But yet they come away without a scratch because plot armor, as they say. But again, it's not supposed to be realistic. It's supposed to be entertaining. So that you take liberties. Yeah, to do all this stuff. It's like one of the things that I find kind of hilarious is anytime I hear anybody talking about complete fictional shows such as Transformers or like Marvel or anything like that about something not being realistic. You're talking about superheroes and giant robot people. There's nothing realistic about the entire premise of the show, so anything else is perfectly fine to not be realistic, So it is kind of funny. So Kimmy Tuesday, and then there's Star Wars, where the Clone Wars was guilty of plot armor against the important Jedi. Oh yeah, I mean, of course. And that one was particularly tricky because it was being done as a prequel to many things. Because not only did you have the original trilogy, you already had episode 2 and 3 out too. So you still had they were just kind of fitting it in, or was it? No, it was after 2 because Attack of the Clones, that's where they first showed up. And then you had the Clone Wars and it fed into episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. So you already had episode 3 out. So you had to consider that. And I remember there's a story out there about how Dave Filoni, two of them, had to deal with the fact that the two of the biggest, one of the main protagonists was Anakin Skywalker, obviously, and one of the main antagonists was General Grievous. Well, they fought many battles. It would make sense that their paths would have to cross at some point. But there was one line in episode 3 where they do meet, and Anakin says, "I thought you would have been taller," implying that they never saw each other in person, that they never met. So whenever they wrote a script, he was always very cognizant about making sure that Anakin and Grievous could never face off. So I think that's an interesting story, but I say that because the whole plot armor for the main Jedi, like Anakin and Obi-Wan or Aayla Secura or anybody else that you saw get ultimately killed in Episode 3, they had to survive the entire Clone Wars because they exist in Episode 3. So the plot armor was due to the fact that there was a movie that came after that they were still in. I think Plo Koon was also there.
I get their defenses!
And Rebels indirectly gave Rex plot armor too. Exactly. And like you knew in the final season of the Clone Wars, which came out just a couple of years ago after Rebels had already come out. I mean, we saw Rex, we saw Gregor, we saw Wolf. We were all there in they're fishing for Jupa on that planet. So we knew they were going to make it out of the Clone Wars. So Episode 7, anytime you saw Rex, you knew he was surviving. And Gregor, same thing. And now you got the Bad Batch coming around. Rex has showed up a couple of times. Well, we know Rex is going to be fine. Gregor even showed up a couple of times. We know he's going to be fine. I don't think we've seen Wolf yet. But I'll tell you what, man. All bets are off for those Bad Batch boys. Because they don't exist in anything after that show. We already lost one of them, if you watch the show. And honestly, I don't think it looks good for any of them. I have a feeling by the time this season's done, we might be losing the entire Bad Batch. Hopefully not Omega. Hopefully they'll find some use for Omega in the future. And we'll maybe see her show up in the Mandoverse at some point as like an older... because remember, she's not an Excel. She's on the same base genetic material like Boba. So Boba, whatever age Boba Fett is, Omega will be that the same. Because she's not accelerated like the other clones. Ryan S. Should I ask my crush out? Dude, I mean that's up to you. I mean, I don't know. I was never one of those people who did that. I was always too chicken, so don't ask me. All I gotta say is, I don't speak from experience, but I mean, it's like, you won't know the answer until you ask, right? Yeah, give it a shot. Good luck. Worst they could do is say no. See, Cuddy Fox saying the reason I'm not much of a fan of Star Wars and fan of Star Trek is when they came out. He's saying the 80s are coming out again. Transformers, G.I. Joe, Thundercats, Voltron, My Little Pony. What show will come out next from the 80s? Yeah. Pikachu says, we're really going to make Echo have another goodbye. It means Domino Squad is good for that. Yeah. We already had that. Echo already had that heroic sacrifice back when we lost him the first time, and then they went and found him again. They're Season 7, right, was the last one they did, the extra season they did with the Clone Wars. And then he's been with the Bad Batch, and he kind of left to go work with Rex. And so I'm not sure which way that'll go. I mean, we definitely haven't seen him in the future. But even if the Bad Batch go out, in the blaze of glory, that doesn't necessarily mean Echo's going to be good. I mean, I think that could go either way. All I gotta say is I'm enjoying this the show this year. It'd be very interesting to see how it all plays out. So Star Wars came out in the 70s and Star Trek Next Generation came out in the 80s. So that's why you're saying you're more of a fan of Star Trek or whatever. It's like, Next Generation was my Star Trek G1 too. I didn't really watch the original Star Trek. Next Generation was definitely mine as well. And definitely a big fan of the Next Generation Star Trek. Pikachu says officially Kix is the only clone that's still active until the sequel trilogy. Where'd we hear that? Did you see?
Deploy! Deploy!
I'm bringing I mean, I'm not saying I'm an expert by any stretch of the imagination on the sequel trilogy. In the books, I don't read books. Or at least, for me, Star Wars was on the screen. I haven't read any of the books or even comics or whatever, so. Only Kix I know is a cereal. I've seen a series called Magicians. You know, I've heard of it. I don't think I ever watched it though. That was the end of my field souls. Yep. So you're saying, for those that forgot, including me, I remember the name, but not who he was. Kix is the 501st medic that disappeared between Bad Batch and the Siege of Mandalore because he found out about Order 66. Was that in the books too, or was that in the show? Because the whole thing about the Order 66, I know it happened during the final season of the Clone Wars, but we first saw it. Wasn't it like Tup where it malfunctioned? I think it was where he actually did Order 66 activated for him, and he killed off that one Jedi early, and that's when Fives went and first found out about the Order 66, and then he tried to warn and blah blah blah. Was he involved with that, or was there something else that I missed? It was books, and it was tied to Fives. Yeah, the whole thing I was just talking about with the Tup and Fives. Yep. Oh, we got an update. Ryan says she said yes. Well, congratulations. You looked into why Tup acted that way behind the scenes. Okay. Fives was right up in front trying to save his buddy. But he actually looked into it a little further. Yeah, deeper after the fact. Interesting. Well, I'm out of fuel cells. No more toys to show off. And we've hit a lull in the conversation about Star Wars and everything and all that. So I think it's probably time to go ahead and call it a show and go on and get the weekend started. For me, that's just going to be sitting down and playing my other video games that I play. And then doing chores tomorrow. Yay! So hopefully you'll have a more fun weekend than I've got planned. Uh, good luck in the event. Should be an easy one. A lot of good resources out there. Go get them. I'm Engineer Hoist. Keep rolling, my friends. We'll see you next time.